Welcome to the Weekday Report for Wednesday, October 9th. I'm Clara Tappa. Here's a look at the news. A 40-year-old Kenosha man remained in critical condition at Aurora St. Luke's Hospital after a Sunday morning apartment fire. Corin Gilmore suffered from smoke inhalation and was found unconscious at 5:08 a.m. inside his apartment in the Pleasant Hills complex at 5305 52nd Street. Gilmore's sister described his condition as touch and go. She said he teaches life skills education to people with mental disabilities and often sings at weddings and churches. A plan to expand LakeView Technology Academy is poised to move forward after two Kenosha Unified School Board committees signaled their approval Tuesday night. LakeView is a choice high school specializing in engineering and technology. The proposed $4 million expansion would allow the school to grow from its current enrollment of 427 to house 650 to 675 students. Questions and concerns about the Affordable Care Act dominated a town hall meeting Tuesday night at the Civil War Museum. Hosted by Kenosha County Supervisor David Hallman, the meeting drew people whose concerns ranged from whether the health care reform offered more affordable care to addressing specific health needs and income requirements. Enrollment in the new health exchanges began last week. People have until December 15th to sign up for coverage to begin January 1st. The Kenosha City Council is asking for a study to determine the best location for an additional emergency medical unit. That measure, approved late Monday, came as an amended version of Alderman G. John Ruffalo's resolution calling for the addition of a full-time med unit at Fire Station 6 on the far north side. Ruffalo said a lack of an ambulance at that station, the only one without a full-time med unit, is a disservice to taxpayers in that growing area. But Fire Chief John Thompson said call logs and response times show an additional unit is most needed at Station 2 on the south side. The study the council requested is expected to cost about $50,000. Construction of a much criticized dog park in Southport Park has been delayed. Aldermen voted earlier this week to suspend building the fenced-in area and instead further study the most suitable location for a dog park in the city. Critics said the Southport area would not mesh well with efforts to find greater uses for the park's historic beach house. Also this week, the council voted unanimously to provide a nearly $4.4 million development grant to Kenall Manufacturing, an Illinois lighting manufacturer that's relocating its headquarters to the business park of Kenosha. The cash grant will come in the form of borrowed tax incremental finance dollars. What's trending today? A government forecast says most U.S. households will pay more to heat their homes this year. Does the price of heating fuel have an effect on where you set your thermostat? Tell us on our Facebook page. Up next is Mike Larson with a sports take on the return of Melvin Gordon.
When we last saw Bradford graduate Melvin Gordon, he was laying on the Ohio State turf grasping his left knee at the end of the third quarter. This left Badger fans everywhere holding their collective breath. It's okay to exhale now. On Tuesday, Wisconsin coach Gary Anderson confirmed that Gordon practiced at, quote, full speed in preparation for the Northwestern game. In three quarters versus the Buckeyes, Gordon rushed for 74 yards, well below his season average before suffering a minor knee injury. After a bye last Saturday, the sophomore tailback fell to 8th in the country in rushing with 698 yards. He is still averaging an explosive 10.3 yards per carry. Gordon has 68 carries this season. The 7 rushers in front of him all have at least 120. Look for Gordon to resume his climb up the rushing charts when the Badgers host the Wildcats at 2:30 on Saturday. I'm Mike Larson, and this has been a Sports Take.
Thanks, Mike. Now here's a look at what we're working on today. John Kadovich will have an update on the renovation work at Simmons Field, and Melinda Ticklar is looking into the forecast for winter heating costs. Pick up a copy of the Kenosha News and check kenoshanews.com for all the details on these stories and more. I'm Clara Tappa with the Weekday Report.